It's gotten physical, too.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise. That happens probably in just about every joint practice. But I do love the way the Lions have responded with a calming effect. But if you're going to push me too far, you're going to see what's coming next. I like that attitude about it. It's an under control vigor that they have when they practice in these dual practices.
Lions are the most physical team in the NFL. You know, they took over for what the 49ers were. Remember that stat that came out 2-3 years ago? The teams that played the 49ers in 2022, 23, they were like 0-16 in the game after playing the 49ers. That's now the Detroit Lions. So they know they're more physical than the teams that they will see in the games, that they will see in joint practices. So they're like, hey, look, we'll be cool as long as you're cool. And then when you start to get dominated, what you start to do is, now I'm dominating, now I want to throw late shots, now I want to talk a little extra mess, now I'm frustrated, I'm doing little extra things in the pile. Well, now you're waking up the big dog. Technically you're waking up a lion, the Detroit Lions, that is. So when you wake that lion up, that's not the smoke you want. So they did a good job, to your point, of knowing that they are top dog, but don't wake them up.
Yeah, yesterday it was Isaac TeSlaa with a little extra physicality. Today, Dan Skipper a little bit too.
Don't wake him up.
Yeah, when the big boys start throwing down, everybody should clear out.
When the big boys start throwing down, that's when you know you're getting dominated. Because the biggest thing you look at is to get a feel for who's winning is the line of scrimmage. What are the big guys doing up front? Is the offensive line getting handled by the defensive line? Is the defensive line not getting any push because the offensive line is stopped? That's what's going on for the Miami Dolphins. They can't get any push on any side of the ball. So now you get frustrated, and you don't want to be in those scrums, not when you got 58 on the right tackle side.
So this was part of it. You see it right here on our wall. Isaac TeSlaa kind of embodies what we were just talking about. He and Dolphins corner Jack Jones yesterday got into it, a little bit of a skirmish. TeSlaa looking even more fired up, but he says, I'm not looking for a fight, but if the fight comes to him, he sure as hell isn't backing down. I think that endears him to the fan base for sure. How does it endear him to some of his teammates, do you think, as a rookie?
All players want to know that their guys want that smoke. You want to know if there's a battle, I don't want to compare it to war because people don't like that. If there's a battle, you got your back. You're in the foxhole with me. You don't mind. You can take the pressure. I think that's what they are seeing out of TeSlaa. He's not just a guy out there making plays at the wide receiver position, which, oh boy, did he yesterday. Can I talk about that, or do you want me to do that later?
We're going to talk about that when we come back. It's a really good tease because I think I've said this forever, folks. It is really hard to impress high-level athletes. Braylon Edwards has been there and done it. He's done it. He's seen it. He's played against it. He's played with it. He's fully aware. But when his head turns because of a player making a specific play, then you know it's got to be special. Sometimes I worry just a little bit that we make too much of one particular player or one particular team. And I think me personally and others in this market are towing that line with Isaac TeSlaa right now. Traded some picks to move up. Wide receiver in the third round when you thought you were set there. Brad Holmes comes out and say he was my favorite receiver in the draft. That says something. And already he has made an impact for what it's worth in the preseason. He's turned some heads, right? Yeah. Braylon's broken down a lot of stuff. But yesterday, he's doing some stuff you can't ignore. And it's not just us hyping him up. It's not us pumping the tires. It's him forcing us to talk about him because of how he's playing now.
Which is what you want.
Which is exactly what you want. Right.
Exactly what you want.
I'll start off by saying this. Look, it's preseason. It's still a long time before the season. Well, not a long time, but it's still some time before the season starts. You want to see more. I get it. We're not overblowing the situation now. With that said, yesterday, a route that he ran and the catch that he had, he was running a curl route. I saw this video. Shout out to DetroitLions.com because this is where I saw that. For him to be 6'4", 218 pounds, the way in which he ran this curl route, you can do certain things. Like he made a touchdown, and he's got 2 touchdowns in the preseason game. You see the big catch that he's had in practice. You've seen some of those plays. A lot of that stuff is just raw, natural athletic ability. It's raw. It's something that's in there, but it doesn't overly impress me. I've seen a lot of people be able to make those plays, and guess what? A lot of them never even made it to NFL rosters. But when you watch a 6'4" receiver break it down as a rookie like he did in this particular route against the Miami DB, number 23, who got worked all day yesterday, not only was he able to get the DB, turn his shoulder pass, and think he was going north, he looked like J-Mo for a second. And that's why the DB thought that he was going to take off on him. He looked like J-Mo, and then he put the foot in the ground. DB keeps going past. He comes back for a curl route. Quarterback throws the ball too far inside, but because he's a hands catcher, this is another thing that is impressive. When people can catch with their hands, that means you can't catch them off balance because they still can make a play. They don't have that awkwardness to where you're a body catcher. You can't catch in certain positions because you're scared to extend out. You're not used to it. He extended with his hands, snagged it with his hands, brought the ball into him, and then he proceeded. Here it is right here, Kool-Aid. Nice setup.
Let's take a look at it.
Here we go. Like, this is what you want to see. Look. Watch them sink the hips. Go back. I appreciate you. Just watch him sink the hips. 6'4". Look how low he's getting. Look where he's at. Want his head to be a little bit more over his knees so he doesn't slip. But this is something we're working on. Look at that. Boom. Puts the ball. Like the DB is still going. Look at the separation right there. Now, if the quarterback puts the ball on TeSlaa, he's a big wide receiver. He can break that tackle right there. Boom. That's 3 yards of separation. Catch that, you break a tackle. But then not only did he get in, get out, look where he finds the ball. That's a hell of a snag. Like, see, that stuff is impressive. That's just not, oh, they threw me a jump ball. I'm 6'4". I also have a 38-inch vertical. I also run 4'4". I can make that play. Not that impressive. But to run a route like this on an experienced DB, to put the ball in, put your foot in the ground, come back and make a very tough catch like that, that's impressive. And this is what you want to see. When I get opportunities, what am I doing with those opportunities? Every time he's got an opportunity, whether it's in practice or whether it's in a game or whether it's in a joint practice, you have to take note of Isaac TeSlaa. That's the guy Brad Holmes drafted. And I got to admit, when he drafted him, I was question mark. I didn't say it was a terrible pick, but I also said I don't know. I would have to see. I'm seeing.
You like it?
He likes it.
This is great, by the way. Shout out to Kool-Aid and Ricky, man. I get it.
Yeah, it was great stuff. Braylon sent this to us about 7 o'clock last night. And as we
fired up.
Yeah, as we converged this morning or this afternoon to talk about this, obviously, Ricky, Kool-Aid, and I are talking about the body control and the hands. What fascinated me is you went to his knees and his hips before anything else.
Right. It's just levels to this.
It's
levels to this.
It's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Why did you go there?
Because that's impressive. Like, I mean, if you're just, how do I say this? The average height for a wide receiver in the league nowadays is like 6 foot. It's like 5'11" and a half. It's 6 foot. That's where guys are. So you don't necessarily pay routes like that attention because you're used to Amon-Ra running that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, last time I checked, is under 5'11". You're used to J-Mo running that route. J-Mo was right at 6 foot on a good day, if we're being honest. So it's a lot easier for them. Tyreek Hills of the world, the Jalen Waddles of the world, who couldn't get open, by the way. Those guys, it's a lot easier for those quick guys. Put them in, put them out. Somebody that's 6'4", 220 pounds, he's carrying 25 extra pounds. He's carrying 4 extra inches. To be able to put the foot in the ground, come back like that, and make it that much space for the quarterback, to give the quarterback that's special. That's something different than you're seeing. You're not seeing 6'4" wide receivers. There's a handful of them in the league. There's a handful of them. Mikael Williams, guess what? He's not Mikael Williams, but Michael Williams, he's gone. You got Mike Evans. He'll be gone soon. Julio, I think he retired last year.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown's like 6'1", 6'2". He's not 6'4", 6'5". Right. So it's the last of the dying breed. So that was a really, really good ride. I got excited. I'm still excited.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And again, I as I started the segment, I worry a little bit sometimes that we go over the top. But when you're making plays like this, when you're catching touchdowns the way he did, I think it is opening eyes, and it's starting to gain. This is how you gain trust in sports amongst fans. I think. Not that that's the be-all, end-all for players. You want trust from your teammates and your coaches first and foremost. But this is what gets fans excited when you see plays like that, even though it may be a practice, but it is a unique way to go about your business and a unique way that we're used to seeing, you're right, more diminutive receivers make plays like that.
I'm not being rude. I'm doing this right now for the show. When you add this type of film, so now when Johnny Morton is looking at this film, now when Jared Goff is looking at this film, you look at this Lions schedule, it's the difference in once Isaac gets settled into our system, we'll get him involved in the season. You know, we'll start having packages for him, you know, maybe the Buccaneers game, maybe the Vikings game, maybe by the Eagles game, we'll trust him enough where we can put him in there. He's making plays now to where you're dialing in earlier. He can help us against the Packers. He can be featured in game 1. He can be featured against the Bears in some packaging. Hell, he might even be the starter, like somebody said to my left. By the time we get to game 4 or 5, I saw Tim Patrick look like a cheerleader out there. You better get it together.
And he's a good player.
No, he's a really good player.
Really good player.
I've been in that space before where you like, I got my job. No, you don't. Now when somebody's humping like this, now you start the season with an emphasis. We got to get 18 involved in the game. That's how it's looking now.